Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Modern Horizons 3 draft here on the channel. If you do enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe for more, and comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Okie doke, what do we have here? If you do want to find an overview of the set, I've got a draft guide already made with top commons, archetype overviews, things like that. This pack is a bit weak. The rare is a land. This card, I think, is a little bit of a trap. There's not really a tokens theme. It's kind of hard to get this to work. This card's not very good. Just 6 mana for the equipment that's just not very powerful. Disciple of Freyles is like okay, you can play it, but triple green's hard. It's kind of small ball in terms of stats. I think Wither and Bloom is going to be the pick here. It's between that and Nightshade Dryad. I think Nightshade Dryad is a really good 2-drop. It fixes your colors, it ramps you. Honestly, might be better than Wither and Bloom, but Wither and Bloom is a very, very strong card. Nice little removal spell that then comes with extra value attached. So it's mostly between these two cards, whether I want to be the green rampy style or the black deck that has maybe some counter synergies or things of that nature. And I'm down to try out this card. I'm definitely willing to still draft green after passing a Nightshade Dryad, but I think it'll be interesting to see. And looks like we get a little bit paid off here, getting to take Fell the Profane second out of this pack. Another really good removal spell, because if you need a land in the early turns desperately, it can be a land. This is one of those interesting ones where you often want to cast it as a spell, but because it can be a land, it's just a little bit of extra upside. If I had taken the green card, I think I'd still take the Fell the Profane. Faithful Watchdog is a bit too committal for this early of the draft. I do like Area Auxiliary. I like Petrifying Meddler. This card can be good. Gravedig can be good. Victimize. I think Victimize is worse than the Fell the Profane, but Victimize can also be sweet. If you have some self-mill or something of that nature. That's a yawn right there. The yawn count is at 1. And we shall Fell the Profane here. Let's check out my pod, see if there's anyone else you recognize. Because sometimes it's fun to see. Oh my gosh, it's System Magic! Let's go! I love the System Magic, guys. Oh gosh, they're awesome. Let's go. Well, pick 3. I think Sowing Myco Spawn is excellent. 4 mana, 3/3. You get to get any land you want and put it into play. However, because I've already taken 2 Wither and Blooms, 2 black cards, another Wither and Bloom seems appropriate here. There's also Marionette Apprentice, which is pretty good as a 2-drop. But I think I'm just going to keep taking the Wither and Blooms while they're flowing. And of course, I'm willing to move away from black. I'm not like committed to black or anything like that. This card's totally reasonable. It's like a 4 mana 3/3 that like gets you some value. This is like a 2 mana card that like trades, and then the +1/+1 counter gets you some value. So it's kind of similar, but I like just getting the black cards while black is flowing. Gives me time to figure out what's open. I mean, here we see there's a Sneaky Snacker. There's also Tamio Meets the Story Circle. We see like some green, a little bit of red, but black might be open here. Okay, what are we looking at here now? Monumental Henge. So it's a land that you can mostly come into play untapped and then look at the top 5, reveal a historic card, put it into your hand. So that's pretty nice. There's also just taking a Dream Drinker Vampire, 2 mana, 2/1 lifelinker that can become a 3/2 lifelinker whenever it gets a counter on it. So it's pretty good with Wither and Bloom getting Menace. I think I'd rather take a Dog Umbra here, though. I think Dog Umbra. There's also Deem Inferior, which plays pretty well with some of my black cards. I might just take the Dream Drinker Vampire. Continue waiting. I think there's a fine 2-drop. It's like decent. And then I can decide whether or not white or blue is a better follow-up color. Okay. There is an Ondu Knotmaster here, which I do like. So I'm going to hover that for now. I think Dog Umbra is a decent option. Also, it does feel good to get like a creature. Like make sure I get some creatures. This card's pretty good with the Dream Drinker Vampire. There's also an Eldrazi Repurposer, pick 5, along with the Dog Umbra. Also a Petrifying Meddler, so blue or black, still a possibility. I just don't think Eviscerator's Insight is particularly great. I'm down to take the Knotmaster. I think that a Dog Umbra would be fine in this deck, but I already have good removal. Just getting a nice threat is good here. Okay. So as we've been saying, we've been getting good, like, we've been taking all the black cards. I don't think this card's really playable. I think it's pretty bad, actually. It's like, you can play it, but it's not great. So I think I'll just take the white card here. The blue cards aren't very good. The land isn't my colors. This card's not particularly great. So I'll just take the white card here. Pass another mediocre black card, though. Yeah, this red card's fine. Just a 3-mana, 3/3 menace is okay. This card's fine, but black-red's more of an artifacts deck. Sure, we'll take Hydra Trainer. There's this guy still. There's also a land that could potentially be good for my colors. Pick 7 Hydra Trainer. We're seeing a few green cards. There's an Oozwag. I'm not too connected to my white cards. Would totally be down to play a black-green deck. And Hydra Trainer is better than the land here. Okay, Deceptive Landscape. Actually perfect for me. I don't think Cranial Ram is good here, even though it's kind of similarly flexible to the other cards. And like, oh, it's kind of like, oh, a red card, because I know I'm playing black. But I like this card because it's going to fit my deck no matter which combo I go with, green, white, or black, white. And it also could enable a splash. Like if I really want to splash an Do Not Master in green, black, or something like that. Cranial Ram is just like, you need to have a lot of artifacts, and I'm not really going that direction right now. So far, I'm really happy with how this draft is going. I've got some really good removal spells. I've got some early creatures. I've got some synergy pieces. We wield this card. That's kind of crazy. Like, I don't think this card is insane, but the fact that you can play it as a land is huge upside, so wheeling it is shocking. I mean, these other cards are medium. I think Void Pouncer is pretty solid as a red card, if you can get the kicker, because a 2-drop that also is a really good mid-game threat is just generally a nice little thing to have. So we wield both Faithful Watchdogs. Huh. Sure, I'll take a Faithful Watchdog. I don't think I really want the Rose-Caught Knight, so I will speculate on the Sneaky Snacker. In case I open some crazy blue card. Dog Umbra, late. Nyxborn Hydra, late. The Sneaky Snacker pick might have been a bit too ambitious. Well, this is a good pickup. I'm now kind of locking into playing green. This card's really, really good. You can cast creature spells from the top of your library. And you can, like, ramp out creatures. What else would I want here? I would want this card, maybe. This card, maybe. These two are both good. So red is not in my future, and neither is blue. I could still just be a green-white deck. Black was not really flowing. But I think I'm just going to take the Eldamri. And green-black is my most likely home, but I could see playing green-white. Okay. So this card's fine. I think this rare is actually pretty good. But it's not my colors, really. I really like Area Auxiliary. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and those were my first 4 picks. The Dream Drinker Vampire is really not feeling good here, but I'm going to take the Area Auxiliary. I think green-white is open, and I will reap the rewards. And now, staying smooth, immediately moving towards another black card that kind of fits this theme. Could also take this. So it's between Guardian of the Forgotten and Area Auxiliary. I think Area Auxiliary is better. Manifesting is pretty good, but like getting the stats in the first place is harder. This guy's pretty solid too. Yeah, I think I'd rather just get the stats. I've seen some people play this as a 4-mana 4/4 Vigilance, and I think this card is really good. Huge pickup. This card's fantastic. I also love this card, and it would be great in my deck, but Metastatic Evangel is so good with the Area Auxiliary. I can still splash black. Like Wither and Bloom is totally a splashable card, and that's one of the big reasons Deceptive Landscape is so good here. This puts 2 counters on something. This is a fine combat trick too, but getting counters as a combat trick is better for me. So I can splash black. I don't think I want this card if I'm splashing black, but I can splash the 2 Wither and Blooms maybe. Maybe the Undo Not Master. I don't know if I want the Undo Not Master. Nice. This card's good. This card's also really good. This card's especially nice with the Area Auxiliary. Gives me something to support 2 onto immediately. Yeah, I think this card's better. Being able to be a land is such a huge upside there. This card's maybe fine. Certain matchups. Another Etched Slith. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white cards. I have more than that in black cards, so maybe I do just take the Etched Slith. But I think I'm kind of building towards a really nice deck here. Sure, I'll take Dread Mask. Oh, man. This has been a tricky draft. I'm somewhat regretting the Witch Enchanter pick, because then I could have maybe audibled back towards green-black. Yeah, this is tricky. This has been an interesting draft, though. I think white's going to be more open in this pack, and I'll kind of get rewarded for my diligent play. I think normally Volt Storm Angel would be better, but I'm going to take the Eldrazi Repurposer here. I have a suspicion I'm going to be able to get back into my green-white ways here. And Eldrazi Repurposer is way better with Area Auxiliary. And like I was seeing black that pack because I wasn't seeing black in pack 1. I still think that splashing black in my green-white deck is going to be the play. This card is so absurdly good for me. I have 11 creatures. I've got 2 Area Auxiliaries to put counters on things. The Faithful Watchdog has synergy. This combat trick has synergy. Okay, this land is pretty much perfect for me. I wouldn't mind this land either. But this land is my splash color and also my potential splash color at least. And also just a way to put a counter on something. So now I have 3 of the lands. This this is a huge pickup. This card's fantastic. Exile a big creature, get a creature, then give something double strike. I also would be happy playing Basking Brood Scale, but I think this is a really valuable removal spell. And it puts a vigilance counter on stuff, which is something. Maybe I'd rather just have the Basking Brood Scale. I'm just going to stick to my guns here. This card seems really good to me. Nice pickup here. Golden Tail Trainer. So just buff all my modified guys. I really like Inspired Inventor too. Ores and equipment's costing less isn't going to be too relevant other than this guy, which I guess is pretty relevant. This guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's good. Can't really use this. I guess I'll take the combat trick. Oh, beautiful. Area Auxiliary is the best card I could have. I'm pretty much just playing like all cheap things that I can use Area Auxiliary with. Oh my gosh, this guy's also perfect because it's 2 creatures for Area Auxiliary. All auxiliary. Do I want to splash black for 2 Withering Blooms? Probably not. This thing can bring back a 2-drop, notably Metastatic Evangel. Seems worth. Do I want Essence Reliquary? Probably not, but... Oh, what a great pick. To get that when I really just needed any land is pretty nice. I mean, any creature, any playable spell. Like, this is just a 40-card deck. We've got a couple of spell lands to help me with flooding out. I could play Essence Reliquary. Because it can bounce. I mean, it's not going to bounce this thing. But it can bounce Inspired Inventor, Area Auxiliary, and Johnny Fells. I kind of want to try this. And I'm going to cut a land, because I think I have the extra room for the spell. My colors are mostly white, so I can cut a green land, especially because I have these 2 green lands. That can also be played as green, so I'm going to cut this. And I think this is going to be good, and I'm excited to try it out and see how it does, making the Area Auxiliary our artwork. Really interesting draft. I mean, we started off 4 black cards, and then we didn't end up playing black, which is pretty rare. But I think it was the correct call overall. And I'm excited to see how it does. And I'll see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to take a moment to shout out the NicolaiBolas Patreon, where you can go to support the channel. Patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you have been enjoying my videos, if you've been finding them entertaining, helpful, if they've been helping you have more fun playing Magic and helping you win more, or things like that, then Patreon is the place to go where you can contribute directly towards the channel and help me make more videos going forward. You also gain access to cool bonus content like my card-by-card draft tier list for Modern Horizons 3 and every other draft set that comes out, where I give my A through F grades on every card in the set as a nice bonus resource, as one of the ways I like to say thank you. Basically, Patreon is the place to go if you want to chip in and help the channel grow and thrive. I would like to give a special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It really does make a big difference. But without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome. We are going to keep this. This is our dream hand. Play this guy. We can get a counter on him. I'm gonna attack with it like this, I think. Having a big death touch creature seems good. Though maybe if I put it here, then I can make sure I can attack next turn. I'm not going to play around them having an instant. Well, that's disastrous. I was never going to play around all of those things, though. Oh, devastation. If they equip, though. I'm probably going to lose this game. That one sequence was just too good for them. Wow, they're playing Cephalid Coliseum? I was just thinking I could have cast Dog Umbra on my own guy. Okay, that's pretty great. Okay. So they're out of gas. That is one heck of a draw. We're in top deck mode now. Oh, that was killer. Oh, devastation. Gosh, that would have been... That was maybe the most brutal card they could have had. Like, anything they were going to do is worse than me... Like, stopping me is better than anything they could have done on their own. Sure. Oh, that's nice. I feel like I'm in good shape here. Okay, Conduit Goblin, sure. Are they just dead here? I just need to double check. So now I have 2 lethal threats. Got there. Yes! Oh, that was a huge win. That was huge. Oh, man, I thought I couldn't win that game after that blowout in the early turns, but my gosh, the synergy got there. Holy heck. And the modal cards were so clutch. Because remember, I cast the 6-mana play, and I cast that combat trick at the end, and both of those could have been land draws. And if I hadn't had those, I 100% would have lost that game. Those extra cards were valuable. Invaluable. So valuable. Perfect. We can keep this because of our land being able to... Obviously, I'd prefer to be able to do it differently, but... Play my creature, they can kill it. Yep. It feels like such a blowout when they get to kill your small guy. But now Eldamri might live. Oh my gosh, devastation. The Jolted Awake is pretty much specifically for the other guy. So I can return this thing to my hand if I need it. Ooh, I can actually cycle this. Perfect. Well, that's a weird one. I'm glad I'm going to be able to get this thing back. Oh my gosh. It's so gruesome. What the heck was that nonsense? Oh my gosh. This card is so unfair. Oh my word. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's brutal. Oh gosh. Oh, jeez Louise. That is nonsense. Oh my god. What? The fact that you can proliferate every time you play a creature and that there's literally a 4-drop that supports 2 and just like wins you. That's like a 2-card combo that like if you do that on turn 4, you just win, I feel like. Just putting 2 counters on 2 creatures, it's like a 4-mana 7/7 spread across 3 bodies. And then every future turn, if they don't kill the Evangel. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have that way to get the Evangel back. And 2 copies of the Evangel. And the 3-drop is pretty good with counters on it, turns out. I knew that Airy guy was pretty good. Pretty nice. What the heck? Oh, that's so brutal. Oh, this is such a great hand. Oh, this is the shining beacon of all hands I want to have. I mean, I don't have a 2-drop or 3-drop, but I get to keep the hand because of my dual lands, which is what I'm emphasizing here. Anyway. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Gonna lead with that one. The revitalizing repast is most likely to be useful to me. Okay, blue-red. The thing is I know they're going to have artifacts. But I still have to play it just to make sure I can hit my land drops. Blue-red has seemed to have a lot of artifacts running around. I do have my way to balance this later on and replay it, but... just play my guy. They can kill it, they can counter it. But it's not like I can hold up this as well because I don't have a third green. Electrozoa. Wow. Using it as a beatdown threat. I respect it. I hope they whiff. Well, that's just about the worst thing for me ever. This game is not going my way at the moment. That's a little synergy so Electrozoa can keep attacking. This game was just tough for me. I had this thing that I wish I could have used. I thought this would be more useful. I was wrong. Killing this would have been pretty good. They're just playing it purely to get 3. Oh, they want to hit a land drop, sure. This is the weakness of my deck, is when I don't draw my cards in the right order. Like here, I drew all of my modal cards, but instead of helping me, it's causing me to flood out a little bit. You might wonder, how can you attack here? And it's because Electrozoa is going to constantly have to tap itself, so they won't be able to attack past unless they can kill the Dreadmaw. And if they can kill the Dreadmaw, then this thing's attacking anyway, so they get the energy, which is all I really care about. And also, if I hit them with this thing, then it increases my odds of being able to pressure them. With my other cards, oh, it's so tough, though. Some of my best cards are gone, too. Like, I had to use one of my Aries. Yep. Hmm. So I really want to equip this. They have 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This could be a game I lose, but it's been very interesting. Like, if they're not careful, I'm going to kill them. Like, they have to leave back a flying blocker. So now if I draw, like, Dog Umbra to kill their only blocker, I'll win. They just let it be tapped. Okay. Here comes Skoa, I assume. What? They're attacking with their flyer? If they attack with their flyer, they're dead unless they have something. I'm certainly not blocking. There's a +3/+2 thing that can kill an artifact. If they have that, I'm dead anyway. Because they'll kill my Dread Mask. And I think they can bring this thing back, yeah. So I'm not blocking this because they can bring it back and give something else flying. What's their last card? Oh. Dang it. Well, that's good enough. Oh, I even drew the Dog Umbra. Can I win still? Attack for 6. Umbra up that. Block here. Yeah, I can still win. Oh no, I can't win. Not if they play this right. Because their Cartographer can get them the energy they need to not lose to Electrozoa. End turn. I don't think I have any outs to draw. Yeah. I was close, though. Actually, if I draw my... Oh, never mind. Not anymore. It was the case if I drew my card that, like, put a bunch of X plus and plus some counters on it, it would work out. Yeah, that was a tough game. I think if I had kept this thing, I might have been able to win, but it was tough because I didn't have lands at the time, and I wanted to curve out because I had kind of a clunky hand. Um, Important to not get too hyper fixated on that one because that was like one of those games where like I either mulligan and have a tough time, or I keep a sketchy hand and have a tough time. So like, not every hand is a winner. But drawing all of your land spells in your opening hand does lead to clunky hands like that. Is one of the downsides of them. They can be incredibly powerful. We saw them win me a game, but they also kind of lost me that game by being like kind of underpowered cards that I couldn't play early in the game. I had a feeling the witch would be good at some point that game. Blue red seems like the sort of archetype where it's going to be a 2-for-1 like every time. So I probably should have just saved it, but I didn't know if I'd have spells. I mean, the lands to play my spells. I just drew a land every turn for a while. But like, imagine if I had kept the witch, play that as my 4-drop, kill their artifact, and then I can use my airy guy to put a counter on it. That's like so much better. Okay, this is a keeper. This could be really brutal if I get a airy. This card's interesting, but I'm not sure how good it is here. Probably not good. This is going to be brutal if I draw a land here. I need to draw 2 lands in a row, but... I can't really play around that. I kind of just have to cast my spells at this point, but it is unfortunate. Okay, there's the battle wagon. This is a cheeky play. They could have gotten 2 energy from the battle wagon before it died. That's the sort of play that, like, it's free roll for me because I think that's a good exchange. But it's also a little bit risky. I mean, like, I would have rather they just not blocked. But, like, it's definitely the sort of play you have to make. I think it's definitely better to just get a second creature down rather than giving this guy trample. Especially because I get the extra proliferate, and then I get to do this next turn and maybe win. Essence Reliquary is kind of bad in this deck. I think it's like an ultra late game card. So if they have the board wipe here, they could come back. Like clear the skies or whatever it's called. Volt Storm Angel will not do it, I don't think. Okay, nice. Got the win. Yeah, that was pretty good for me. That worked out. I forget if I said this, but I'm going to be playing 5 rounds so that I can maximize showing off the decks, showing off what the cards do, so we don't have like one bad round and like think that's what the cards are. So this is going to be the last round. But that way, in the early access event, there's only so much time for the event. And so it's nice to be able to draft as much as possible, build as many different decks as possible, try out as many different cards as possible in the course of the event. So this is our final round. We're going to see if we can get a nice little 4-1, and our only loss being kind of that unfortunate, somewhat flood out game where we just needed a little bit more action, and our spell lands had already kind of betrayed us. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. And yeah, we're in our final round here. So for a nice smooth draw, absolutely smash our opponent. Be on the play, 2-drop with our great guy. Wow. It's funny because this is totally a keep, but it's also like all the same problem as our hand that we had before. Oh gosh, this hand is not good. So it's a Mardu color combo. I'm going to delay on playing the Witch as a land here. Spell Light. Red and black has a lot of artifacts in it. Plains wouldn't be so much, but oh my gosh. They have enchantments. There's going to be something for the Witch to get. I'm going to lose this game badly. Turn 2 Hex Gold Slith is a nightmare. My hand was bad anyway. I don't think I'm supposed to mulligan it, though. Only this was an artifact. They can counter it at their whimsy. Or kill it some other way. They're playing the Electrozoa too. Interesting. I just want to draw planes here. It'd be so good for me. Planes! I beg you. Yes! Oh, we're still in business. It's one way to come back. I can double block the Hex Gold Slith now. which might stop them from attacking with it. This is the sort of play that brings you back into the game. When your 4-drop kills their 4-drop, all of a sudden they have 5 mana worth of plays in play. I have roughly similar stat lines again. This is the other thing that can get you back, is a cheap trick that blows out a combat trick or removal spell. Yeah, this is bad. And we're back in trouble. The fact that the Slith is basically like the equivalent of a 5-drop right now, with all the stats it's been getting. This is another case of I'm almost certainly dead, but we can make a game of it here. Never mind. I am super dead. Yeah, we tried. This was just a rough one. I had a tough opening hand and didn't really get to play my cards as well. Hex Gold Slith really takes over if you're on the play and your opponent stumbles. It's one of the benefits of the card. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. We almost made a comeback, it felt like, but they probably had that all along. It was just not in the cards for us. But still, 3-2. Nice little successful draft, I would say. We got to really show off some of the stuff. I think the games we lost were mostly due to like kind of bad hands and kind of sketchy draws. I mean, starting with 4 black cards and then pivoting into a green-white deck was very cool. But if you made it all the way till the end of the video, in the comments section down below, leave hashtag #ProlifaWin. Or prolific. Prolific is a good word. Hashtag prolific. So let me made it all the way to the end of this video, because this card plus this card was absolutely absurd. Really, really cool stuff. It was pretty much commons and uncommons. I mean, we had this guy, but he didn't really do anything. And it was just really cool to see all of these cards in action and get to play some cool games with this deck. If you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe for more, comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. But that's going to do it for this one. Once again, shout out to Wizards of the Coast for giving me a free preview account in this early access event so I could get this recorded early. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.